The National Science Foundation is a United States government agency that supports fundamental research and education in all the non-medical fields of science and engineering. Its medical counterpart is the National Institutes of Health, with an annual budget of about $7 billion. The NSF funds approximately 24% of all federally supported basic research conducted by the United States' colleges and universities. In some fields, such as mathematics, computer science, economics and the social sciences, the NSF is the major source of federal backing. The NSF's director, deputy director, and the 24 members of the National Science Board are appointed by the President of the United States, and confirmed by the United States Senate. The director and deputy director are responsible for administration, planning, budgeting and day-to-day operations of the foundation, while the NSB meets 6 times a year to establish its overall policies. The current NSF director, confirmed in March 2014, is astronomer Francais Cordova, former president of Purdue University. Grants and the merit review process. The NSF seeks to fulfill its mission chiefly by issuing competitive, limited-term grants in response to specific proposals from the research community. The NSF also makes some contracts. Some proposals are solicited, and some are not. The NSF funds both kinds. The NSF does not operate its own laboratories, unlike other federal research agencies, notable examples being the National Aeronautics and Space Administration and the National Institutes of Health. The NSF receives over 50,000 such proposals each year, and funds about 10,000 of them. Those funded are typically projects that are ranked highest in a merit review process, introduced in 1997. Reviews are carried out by ad hoc reviewers and panels of independent scientists, engineers and educators who are experts in the relevant fields of study, and who are selected by the NSF with particular attention to avoiding conflicts of interest. For example, reviewers cannot work at the NSF itself, nor for the institution that employs the proposing researchers. All proposal evaluations are confidential. The proposing researchers may see them, but they do not see the names of the reviewers. The first merit review criterion is intellectual merit. The second is that of the broader societal impact of the proposed research. The latter has been met with opposition from the scientific and policy communities since its inception in 1997. In June 2010, the National Science Board, the governing body for NSF and science advisors to both the legislative and executive branches, convened a task force on merit review to determine how well the current merit review criteria used by the NSF to evaluate all proposals were serving the agency. The task force reinforced its support for both criteria as appropriate for the goals and aims of the agency, and published a revised version of the merit review criteria in its 2012 report, to clarify and improve the function of the criteria. However, both criteria already had been mandated for all NSF merit review procedures in the 2010 reauthorization of the America Competes Act. The Act also includes an emphasis on promoting potentially transformative research, a phrase which has been included in the most recent incarnation of the merit review criteria. Most NSF grants go to individuals or small groups of investigators who carry out research at their home campuses. Other grants provide funding for mid-scale research centers, instruments and facilities that serve researchers from many institutions. Still others fund national-scale facilities that are shared by the research community as a whole. Examples of national facilities include the NSF's national observatories, with their giant optical and radio telescopes, its Antarctic research sites, its high-end computer facilities and ultra-high-speed network connections, the ships and submersibles used for ocean research, and its gravitational wave observatories. In addition to researchers and research facilities, NSF grants also support science engineering and mathematics education from pre-K through graduate school. Undergraduates can receive funding through research experiences for undergraduates' summer programs. Graduate students are supported through integrative graduate education research traineeships and Alliance for Graduate Education and the professoriate programs, and through the Graduate Research Fellowships. NSF-GRF, K-12 and some community college instructors are eligible to participate in compensated research experiences for teachers programs. In addition, an early career development program supports teacher scholars that most effectively integrate research and education within the mission of their organization. As a foundation for a lifetime of integrated contributions, scope and organization. The NSF's workforce numbers about 1,700, nearly all working at its Arlington headquarters. That includes about 1,200 career employees, 150 scientists from research institutions on temporary duty, 200 contract workers, and the staff of the National Science Board Office and the Office of the Inspector General, which examines the Foundation's work and reports to the NSB and Congress. In June 2013 it was announced that the NSF would relocate its headquarters to Alexandria, Virginia in 2017. Research Directorates. The NSF organizes its research and education support through 7 directorates, each encompassing several disciplines: biological sciences, computer and information science and engineering, geosciences, mathematical and physical sciences, social, behavioral and economic sciences, education and human resources. Other research offices. The NSF also supports research through several offices within the Office of the Director, Office of Cyber Infrastructure, Office of Polar Programs, Office of Integrative Activities, Office of International Science and Engineering. Overseas offices. NSF also has 3 overseas offices to promote collaboration between the science and engineering communities of the United States and other continents' scientific communities. Brussels for Europe, formerly based in Paris. Tokyo for East Asia, except China. Beijing for China. Cross-cutting programs. In addition to the research it funds in specific disciplines, the NSF has launched a number of projects that coordinate the efforts of experts in many disciplines, which often involve collaborations with other U.S. federal agencies. Examples include initiatives in nanotechnology, the science of learning, digital libraries, the ecology of infectious diseases,